Hey there everybody, Matt Carter here.
And Jessica Carter from CarterMatt.com.
This video is our reaction to the Expanse Season 4, Episode 9, the penultimate episode of the season. Well, here we are. We have the Artifact Temple of Doom. We have the Eye of Mordor. We have
Robot Miller.
Yeah, we have Robot Miller. We have Real Miller. We have really dead Miller. We have a lot of stuff that is happening in a single episode, and yet we also don't have Drummer, we don't have Ashford, we don't have Christian, we don't have Bobby, we only have like a little bit of Naomi, and that really feels just more like setting things up for the finale.
Yeah, this was really a episode in a bottle, kind of, where we were just in this one place most of the time, and it made sense. This episode needed to be like this.
Yeah, so we're gonna spend most of our time down there in the Artifact, the final temple of the big metaphorical Skyrim dungeon that is this Artifact place, and we'll talk about everything that went down there. But before we do anything, if you like this video, give us a like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you don't miss any other updates that we've got coming your way. Okay, so where to begin here? Because there are a lot of places to begin. I feel like we need to pay proper tribute again to Miller, who has left us Seemingly.
Yeah, no, I think he's gone now, and I'm a big fan of Miller. If you haven't watched other videos, I really love this character. So I was really bummed out when they first killed him off or he got absorbed into the proto-molecule. I was extra excited when he came back as Proto-Miller.
Yeah.
And so this episode shed a lot more light on him. I think I've just been really greedy in that I just haven't wanted to let go of him. I really love this character. But after hearing some of what he said in this episode about what it's like for him, that it's basically just agony and torture for him and everyone else that was on Eros, that it's never ending torture. I can't in good conscience want my favorite character to have a life like that or an afterlife like that where he's just being tortured in pure agony forever and it just never ends for him. So if this is actually the end of Miller, I feel like I'm okay with it at this point. As much as I love having him on the show, it just can't be. I want better for my Miller. He can't have a lifetime like that.
Well, I think it was a good send-off. I think he had moments that were real with Holden. We actually got to see the real Miller versus the Hat Miller, the proto-molecule sort of creation of Miller.
Yeah, and it was nice that they actually touched on that hat because we know that Holden has never seen him with the hat. He left that hat on Ceres when he left. So it was cool that Miller actually brought that up and said, yeah, this is some proto-molecule nonsense to build me up as a investigator or detective.
Ultimately, I think the important thing is that we really got a full sense of the connection between Holden and Miller, and I think Miller, he sort of stored up whatever kind of energy he had or ability he had to come to Holden in earnest for this particular moment where there was an opportunity for Holden to really, actually save a lot of people by turning off this planet in some ways, by keeping all the proto-molecule creator devices at bay and making it easier for everyone to actually sort of thrive here.
I thought that it was really an interesting plot choice that Miller was able to break free from the proto-molecule, because we've seen back in the past with Julie when Miller entered the chamber that there was still Julie there.
Yeah.
She had to fight against it to be like, I'm scared and I want to go home, and she was still there, but she was unable to break free from what was going on. And we haven't seen anybody else break free from the proto-molecule either. I didn't even know it was possible to break free from this jail, as he's called it. So to see that Miller has figured something out, has still found that strength in him to take the time to break free, be able to break free, just opens up kind of a little bit of a door in my mind of, well, there's 100,000 other people there. There's 150,000 other people there. Is it enough, or is it possible that other people can break free from this? Because Miller did, even though it was just for a little bit of time.
I wouldn't be shocked if we saw Julie again in some way, shape, or form. I think
That'd
it's
be
just
cool.
Yeah, I think it's just going to depend on where they go moving forward. I don't think there's a reason to bring anybody back onto where they are right now around New Terra or anything with that. But I think the possibility is still there. But it's so interesting too that the whole idea here is to bring Miller's little robot up to, I have to call it the Eye Immorta. That's just what it looks like. And pass it through there.
Robo Miller.
Robo Miller in order to make this happen. But, Miller eventually has to go and take care of a Murtry problem, and we'll talk about that in a moment. But we have, in the end, it's Elvi who is sort of thrown in this position of, all of a sudden, you now have to hear Miller's voice.
Yeah, that was also really interesting that Miller was able to reach out to somebody else.
Yeah, and this isn't even someone he's ever met before.
Yeah, because in general, he's only been able to reach out to Holden. And even though he's met other people on the Rossi crew, he wasn't reaching out to any of them. But I guess desperate times, desperate, measures that he's like, okay, I don't know who you are, but we're going to do this. So come and help me out.
It's a good thing that Holden had passed along some information and that Elvi kind of had a sense of what was happening because this would have been really bad. I was like, this is his voice speaking to me. I'm just going to run out of here.
Yeah, there's this burning ring of fire and a talking robot, and I feel like I gotta go.
Yeah, that's what I would do. But, okay, well, the end of this episode, the closing seconds, you see her sort of going closer to this. Obviously it could be a fruitless exercise trying to speculate on something that we could figure out in 2 seconds, but my gut reaction after seeing this was like, ooh, Elvi's dead. Like, I don't know how you would...
Oh, yeah, for sure. And I don't know how she survives that. It's just, she has said, I'm a scientist. She had that conversation with Holden earlier about how, even though he's like, oh man, I've got Miller in my head all the time and it's painful and it's difficult and it's hard. And she was like, man, I would give anything to be in your position. Scientists would give anything to be in your position. We would do anything for it. Would you also grab a robot and throw yourself into a burning ring of fire? Because it feels like she would.
Congratulations, Elvi. You got what you wanted. You got to be in control. You got some scientific advancement. Unfortunately, it seems like you also maybe have death at the moment. But, I mean, it is the Expanse. If you're going to kill off people all the time, maybe you keep people from dying all the time as well. So, we'll find out very, very shortly. But, speaking of matters of life and death, let's now go back to the other struggle that is going on here leading up to the final boss battle between Murtry and Holden. We have Amos, and unfortunately the end of his love story in a very, very tragic fashion.
Was there any other way this was going to end? They've been building up to it. They've had little stones out there that this might happen. He's been honest since the beginning that they are on different sides. They have different crews. They're both very loyal to their crews. I said it before, she's kind of a female Amos, and in that way, and she is very loyal to Murtry. Even when Murtry offered her that money, she was just like, my loyalty doesn't need to be paid for. It never needed to be before. It doesn't need to be now. My loyalty is my loyalty. And so, we know that that's how Amos feels about his crew as well. So this showdown was inevitable. It was going to happen. And it kind of played out the way that I thought that it would, that Amos would take her out. I didn't think she was going to be his complete undoing. But he is bleeding out in a hallway, so is he gonna die?
I feel like Amos is gonna be okay. I'm nervous, but I also feel like if you're going to kill off Amos, it has to be in the most epic way possible. You need to make it cooler than Shed getting his head blown out of a ship. Like, you need it to be like grade A, awesomeness. Like, maybe, like, Amos loses his head and his head is still talking or something. It has to be, like, really, really crazy for me to, like, get on board with it. I just don't think this sort of standoff, this weird Romeo and Juliet-esque situation has to be the end of the road for him.
I think I just don't know. And because this show has set the stakes so high. They killed Miller. And I know that Miller has come back as Proto Miller and Robo Miller, and now Miller's probably gone. But just the same, they took a main character and just murdered him. And we had Shed, who I thought was a main character, just boop, gone. There's the medic, no more. This show is not afraid to kill main characters. So going into this finale, do I think they're gonna kill Amos? No.
Tentatively, yeah.
Yeah, I'm nervous. And I'm nervous because this show will do that. And even with a character like Amos, who everybody loves him. He's such a great character. He's so fun to watch. The actor is great. Would cause an uproar, but it would have some sort of significance because he was then able to basically help Holden and Elvi get this done and stop this from happening.
The thing that gives me hope is that Drummer got better. I mean, it didn't look too good for Drummer once upon a time. I thought she was going to have, like, those, like, artificial spine or this leg thing, all that other... I thought she was going to have, like, her bionic powers forever.
Drummer's a special case.
Drummer cannot die. Drummer is immortal. That is the thing we have learned through multiple seasons of... Because Drummer has basically welcomed death with open arms a number of different times.
Yeah, she has.
And somehow she's still there. As for someone else who is, I guess, kind of surprisingly still alive, Murtry does not get Sparta kicked into the pit.
No, but his gun did.
Yeah.
And watching that gun go down there, I was like, this is so bad. This is going to be so bad, and it's going to be so satisfying when, Holden does kick him into the pit. He decided not to.
Yeah.
But he did pull a little bit of a Miller, and I really like that. He had that moment where he was talking about, I once had a friend who was faced with someone just like you that had these same ideas as you, and he shot him in the face. And then he shot him in the face. That was really great. I just liked seeing that full circle Miller-Holden moment there where... Yeah, at first Holden was really pissed off that Miller shot Justin in the face, and he was mad for a long time, and then he was kind of like, okay, I don't like what you did, but I kind of get why you did that, and now it feels like full circle, stop, he understands it, and now he has shot Murtry in the face.
It's like, it's a Miller-Holden hybrid, because, I mean...
Is.
Murtry's alive, I guess. I mean, I'm assuming he's going to get dragged to wherever they're going to put him in prison now, and hopefully this is not going to be a Negan situation where eventually he's not there. But I think he's probably going to get locked up there, and that'll sort of be the end of Murtry. He's like the one season big bad. Like, he's not a character who I think we'll see in season 5, but this feels like a suitable end to his arc. I mean, especially given what we know that he was trying to do with the rest of the people who were not even on New Terra, who were trying to make things go kaboom.
Yeah, that's the other big sort of cliffhanger that's still out there, this thread, is that this ship has got a bomb on it still that to be detonated by someone on his crew up at the station or up at the other ship. So... that's not gone. And just because Murtry is going to be carted off to whatever prison or whatever Holden's going to end up having to do with him, I mean, doesn't mean that the Belters that are going to be on the ship aren't going to still have a problem, because there seems to be only 2 people that know about this. And one of them is Murtry, who's no longer able to really give the order to stop it.
We have a number of different things that I think need to be resolved or at least updated in the finale. We have the state of the people at New Terra. We have the possible bomb threat. We've got, the trial of Murtry, even if he gets a trial anyway. We have Amos's fate. We also have stuff we didn't see much of tonight, including, well, tonight, but this episode, Marco, where he is.
Where is he? Okay, this is the bee in my bonnet. They brought in such a cool, slick, charismatic character like Marco. I was really excited to see a lot more Marco going on this season because he just seems like a really good foil for everybody. He's causing so many problems even though we're not seeing him. I was really excited to kind of get to know this character more. I didn't get enough Marco for my liking so far.
Yeah, I
maybe they're saving him for season 5 and they're going to make this a year-long wait for the Marco return. I don't know.
I don't know. I'm surprised that storyline has been paced the way that it is and we haven't seen that much of Marco, but we still have that. We still have Christian and the election, if that's going to be something that wraps up. We have the connections with Mars and Marco, and if there are ties to everything with Bobby. I mean, there's a lot.
Yeah, and what is going to happen with Bobby now that she's kind of by herself on Mars and everyone she was working with or cared about is just gone and she's just going to be left there jobless.
Here's the good news. We'll have a video very, very shortly breaking down everything. We'll talk about the finale, and then we may have a video talking about what could be coming in Season 5 as well. But let us know in the comments what you thought about The Expanse Season 4, Episode 9. And if you enjoyed this video, give us a like, subscribe, and you can support us further by checking the link in the description to the Carter Matt store. And we'll see you here next time.